Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Sunspot, your front row seat to the blazing world of Rogue Sun. Whether you're chasing down supernatural mysteries or battling through family drama that spans generations, this is the place for all things Dylan Siegel and the legacy of the Sunstone. Every episode, we break down the latest issues, explore the tangled web of enemies and allies, and dive deep into the mythology that fuels this fiery hero. From the streets of New Orleans to realms beyond, we'll uncover every spark, shadow, and scorching twist. So grab your armor, ignite the fire, and step into the light because the night is always darkest before the dawn of Rogue Sun. Hello, everyone. I'm your host, Bash, and I'm joined by my friends, fellow hosts Charlie, Ali, and Matt. How are you guys doing today? Ready to start some Rogue Sun fires?
Always, bravo. That was a very good intro. I enjoyed that. But yeah, excited to be here always. We got second week, we got Massiverse back-to-back weeks, so this is a good one. And also before we start, just wanted to shout out. I was just randomly on an Evil Dead binge this weekend, and I totally didn't realize that Ryan Parrott wrote an Evil Dead series, like the Death to the Army of Darkness series. So I read that for the first time, and I freaking love that. So I was reading a lot of Ryan Parrott this weekend, and got some more good stuff this week. So excited to get into this top tier issue with you guys.
Yes, definitely top tier issue. The only sad part about it is that we're gonna have to wait another month for the next one, but I can't wait to get into it with you guys. How about you, Matt? How you doing?
I'm good. It's been eventful month. Last if you guys listen to the Radiant Black Pod, I'm still without my glasses for like another week, so this is like an old pair. So I've been pretty friggin' blind. I did a set the other day, really and I made it home, so that was pretty sweet.
Are you getting more used to it, like as you go on being blind, or it's just like
I don't know how the time has passed. Let's just say I'm glad they legalized weed.
I think
you're getting through it. Fair enough.
I think what he's trying to say is, have you developed any super keen senses, like a crazy sense of smell? Can you hear like Daredevil now? Do you just hear?
Where should I start? I'm gonna start reading Daredevil though, since I can only see stuff right in front of my face. So what run should I start with Daredevil?
Dude, you can pick any run; they're all amazing.
All right, fair.
Yeah.
Anyways, sick issue. I'm excited as always, but there's some real horsepower in this, and I'm down to talk about it. Let's get into it.
Yeah, so I'll start with the brief catch up on the issue previously. We're just gonna read the last paragraph because, as always, the previous three are always the same. So recently, Caleb has returned, leading Aurie to a second Sunstone, one she's used to become a second Rogue Sun, assisting Dylan in the fight against the new foe Noxious. Having discovered that Noxious is targeting board members of the Sin Corporation, that's funny. I see what you did. Dylan and Aurie disagree on the way to proceed, but things may change when they discover that one of his next targets is Juliet. So last issue we ended with the big reveal that Juliet is one of the she's on the board of this Sin Corporation, and that's really concerning because we've always thought of Juliet as a relatively good person, and we've had doubts here and there considering her association with Marcus and all that, but it's never been really revealed that she's into some shady shit like this. But I thought that was the first interesting twist. And I mean, this isn't really a spoiler because these were in the preview pages, so I can even pull up the pages here. But while I do that, let's talk about that. So it turns out Juliet is actually against this kind of behavior, and she wasn't really aware of it. She knew Marcus was into some shady shit, but now that she's fully aware of just what kind of degree of shady crap they're doing, she wants to put an end to it. So I'm curious what you guys thought of that.
Yeah, well, this made me really happy.
This made
me happy. Sorry, you go ahead.
No, go ahead. It's fine.
Okay. So yeah, it was cool seeing. I was a little, I wouldn't say worried last issue, but like you said, we didn't really know where it was going with her plot line. But I liked how they didn't really lead us on for too long and then go back on it. Like I like how we saw she is kind of in this shady position, but at the same time, she still has her good heart, and you can see she has kind of the right motivations going on. So yeah, I like that. What do you think, Ali?
Yeah, kind of the same idea. They didn't waste any time pretending that she's evil or she's the mastermind behind all this. Like immediately you find out she's a silent partner, and that Marcus is the one who started this investment, and apparently that's how her family is super rich. I always thought for some reason it was like some inheritance, like she came from a big rich family or whatever, but no. And the reason why she decided to finally step in is because of all the stuff that's happening with Noxious and all that stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, gotcha. Right, Ben. Yeah, this is the 1 in 20, 25. I think still this was still 125. Yeah, cover for number 29. It's a homage to Crisis on Infinite Earths number 7. The cover by George Perez where Superman's carrying the dead Supergirl. So I love this cover. Obviously, I love everything about it. He's holding Aurie here. This is not a spoiler cover, so don't worry. It's literally just a cover. Yeah, so great incentive variant for those of you that were lucky enough to get it. It's pretty hard to find. I have not been able to get one. I think the only store I saw that had one in Canada had it for $80. So that's not happening.
Wow.
Yeah, so this is the cover A by Stefano Simeone. Great cover. Love this cover. Love every cover he's been doing. I love his signature as well. Right there.
Yeah.
So yeah, and he's both the Rogue Sons there. That's Marcus and this is Dylan. But again, pretty
That's Caleb,
misleading
no?
cover.
Pretty sure
Yeah.
that's Marcus and Caleb.
Oh, you're right. That's Caleb. Sorry, that's Caleb. Okay, so it's not a misleading cover. I'm misleading myself. I love like the subtle image eye right here. Like you guys notice that?
Oh wow, no, I did not catch that. Nice.
It's like I would too. But I love that. That's kind of cool. And then this is the first page that we were talking about. So here, yeah, she says they're on the yacht. She says, like this out of parent, and then this guy's like, "Oh, she's my friend, bro." No, I thought that's the finance bro. Like, "Oh, but she's my friend. Don't worry, we give her the best gift." Whatever, man. So in the next page, you find out that like, yeah, it's her husband invested, and she was a silent partner. But now that but that's over. She says that verbatim. And the moment that she's saying, like, we got to stop doing this stuff, the finance bro responds to her and like, douchey saying, "Our God." Basically, he's saying, "Shut up, bitch. We've made you tons of money. I don't appreciate your feminist bullshit." He literally says that feminist sass, which is like, what the hell? And then Noxious just kills him immediately because while he's talking to her, he like says basically the reason he's like, it's all booked, it's all cooked. The whole thing is a game and it's a numbers game, and it just simply comes down to like those people weren't worth the numbers, And that's where Noxious kills him, and he's super upset because as we see in the next page, and these were all preview pages, okay? So we're not sharing anything for free or whatever. These were all the preview pages shared by Image Comics. We're only going to share one page from the story that's not from the preview pages. That's toward the end of the issue. We're going to talk about it a lot, and I can tell you the guys probably know which page it is without even mentioning it. Yeah, so we see this gorgeous page here, and Noxious jumps onto the scene. Big ass cabroosh there, kills the finance bro, is going for the other two, and on the next page, and we'll pick this up. Through the discussion, that's when Rogue Sun comes in. Rogue Sun Aurie specifically to try her hand at saving the day on her own. What did you guys think of that? The fact that she came alone with no Dillard.
Well, is her suit getting more colorful every time she comes out now?
I think so. I definitely noticed the purple a lot more in this issue.
I was telling you guys last issue, nobody said anything. I was like, guys, it's purple. It's purple.
Oh, I know it changed, but it feels like it's getting more colorful.
Yeah, I think we've noticed it a little more. Yeah, every issue for sure. But yeah, no, honestly, like not only, and I think we all agree, like this is a top tier issue, not only of Rogue Sun, but probably like in the Massiverse in general. But the art, especially as well, killed it. Like I don't know, it went to a different level in this issue. It's always great, but it went to a different level.
We know them, but just for everyone, so we've got Ryan Parrott and Nick Cotton on the writing duty. We got artists Abel and Bruno Frenda on the art duty, which is amazing. Again, we enjoy almost like that Catalyst War approach of having two really good artists, and it just works well. We got Natalia Marquez on the colors, and wow, for once we've got Becca Carey not on. We got Buddy Boudouin again, and Buddy's been doing the Cal
1984.
1964.
Yeah,
it's been so long, man.
I think so. Yeah, it's been a while. Yeah, he's doing the cow. Yeah, so I'm really surprised that there's no Becca here. I wonder maybe she just had too many books she's working on. In the cover, we've got Stefano Simeone and Marcelo Costa, who we've already mentioned. Editor, of course, and designer Michael Pasuto. Massiverse creative director Kyle Higgins, and Rogue Sun created by Ryan Parrott. Yeah, so the next page, Aurie pops in. You guys are right to mention the colors. I really like it, especially that page where right after she punches Noxious and knocks him down, she's looking almost like at the reader, and she says, "Coleman, I understand why you're doing this, and you have my sympathies. You really do. But no more death, no more destruction. This ends tonight." And that's where like it really looks good. You see the collar more there. There's like this collars looks purple, and it looks really good on her. I don't know how to explain it. it stands out a lot. And you guys are right. Maybe it is like just the contrast is popping a little bit more now. I think maybe someone probably retroactively read 25 and was like, man, they look exactly the same in the art.
Yeah, in the beginning
yeah.
it was kind of tough to tell them apart when they're both in the same panel, but it's getting they each have their own like color scheme. Now, this one almost reminds me of the Lakers, like the purple and gold. I know her shoulder pads aren't gold, but it looks purple and gold right there.
The fire shining on it, yeah, it gives it the kind of more gold look.
Yeah, no, that's very cool, and I love her approach here. Like we've kind of been leading up to their divide a little bit. Like they've been working together, but obviously we can tell they don't have the same ideals whatsoever. Just their approach to how to go about things. So I love how we see Aurie kind of in full action and how she would just take charge in a situation by herself, and we see it for the first time in this whole series. Just a villain kind of get talked down and turned around, which with this villain I thought was amazingly done, and it didn't feel cheesy or anything. It really, it just felt super organic, and yeah, it kind of, this character was leading down that path. You could kind of feel that. So I don't know. I liked it. I don't know about you guys.
Yeah. I thought it was great. I mean, this issue really was the best at showing in a practical situation, like the divergences between the two Rogue Sons, like how their approaches differ, not only in terms of like the way they wield the mantle, but in terms of their individual like upbringing, right? Like you see that Dylan, and this is reflected later in the writing even more in terms of why he chose who and you know which one would get the stone. So it's like Aurie's a much more calculated, like measured individual. She's calm. She's in control of her emotions. She's not impulsive. She's compassionate, and she's, like you said, she's willing to talk the person down and appeal to their emotions because she feels for them. She actually feels for them. Whereas like Dylan is much more brash and impulsive. Like altogether, his approach was like it's interesting because the outcome last issue is the same in terms of emotion. Like both Aurie and Dylan feel the same in terms of they feel sympathy for Coleman, but in terms of the way they express that is different. Like she's going to express it by genuinely trying to help him and talking to him. And he's going to express it by literally just not even doing anything about it. He's going to let him do, like just go follow through with it and do whatever he wants to do because that's his idea of justice. So I thought that was really interesting. There's a lot of like characterization in terms of action and no action. So I thought that was really good writing. And then the next page where we're back at the Bell Estate. And again, the colors are gorgeous. I really like the contrast between the pages. You go from greens to like more like purples and blues.
Shades,
yeah. So I thought it was really nice. Big shout out to Ryan and everyone. I don't know whose idea it was, but they're watching Kamen Rider on the television. A lot of people got a kick out of that. That's really nice. I literally saw someone on League of Comic Geek said this was a nice, excellent issue, but I'm for real giving it 5 stars for the Kamen Rider reference. I was like, okay, that's great. So that's excellent. They definitely got a smile out of me. And I was happy to see it. So canonically now, Dylan is a weep. I think that's really funny. So that's where I think this is one of the funniest things ever because one of my favorite shows of all time is Malcolm in the Middle, and one of my favorite characters of all time is Dewey. And I think what Brock does here is exactly what Dewey does. He just outsmarts him, and he just does it, but like effortlessly. Like he knows he's outsmarting him. He knows he doesn't need to do shit because he's like this. He can just do it. So what happens is, they're just watching TV, eating Aurie's potato chips. The nerves on this kid. So this kid lets her go out on her own, and he's eating her goddamn potato chips. Like, guys, let us know in the chat which is the bigger sin: letting her go fight alone, or taking her potato chips. To me, they're almost on the same level as that. So he's eating her chips, watching Kamen Rider, and that's where Brock comes in and sits down, and he says, and he's just this like very nonchalant. He says, I thought it was so funny because it's so well done.
It caught me off guard too.
Yeah, he just says, "Oh, so like, aren't you supposed to be on guard duty?" And Dylan just responds naturally, like he like drops the act completely because it's so nonchalant. It's so like it's so well done that he doesn't even think twice about it. And he's like, "Oh no, like she's probably like out with the prep and the schoolgirls." And then he's just like, doing witchcraft or whatever girls her age do. And then Brock says, weird. I thought you were supposed to be out there helping her be the new Rogue Son, but guess not. And he's like, the new Rogue, what? And he's just like, and then he starts taking the bag of chips. This is my favorite part. First of all, he starts stretching. He takes over the couch. He takes the bag of chips. So now he's eating the chips. Like they're his chips now. Like they're with him. So he's eating the chips and he says, really? Yoga? like that's the best you could come up with, which we all talked about before. That's so funny. He says, when I saw you on the couch, I thought there is no way he'd let her go out there all alone already. So now he's appealing to his emotions and he's trying to make him feel guilty because he's like, he knows that basically he's saying, I know you're a good person. And I was like, I didn't think you would just do that to her like in such a cold way. And now Dylan's like, God damn it, like I have to. And he's like, oh, like that's something your dad would do, you know? I didn't think like you were your dad. And Dylan's like, God damn it, he got me. Like now I'm basically my dad, so I have to. I have to go. I have to go save her because I can't be that asshole. So he leaves, and now this guy is fully comfortable on the couch. He's got the chips. He's got the TV. He's got the house, and he's got his sister like taken care of. This king. This is like one of the best Brock moments of the whole series. Man, straight doing this shit.
Those two pages, we got more out of Brock since he met, oh my God, Finnegan. That was like the last time I feel like Brock really had a spotlight.
We haven't got very much Brock. I've been wanting more, and this just shows how like, this is definitely good. Like shows how good of a writer Ryan is, like just bringing back and not only just showing the characters, but using them in situations where they can where it actually makes sense, but can still help the main character, especially because we've been focusing more on Aurie and stuff. It's nice to get back to Brock, and it's always nice to check back in. They have a fun dynamic, and I think it makes sense. But we cut to this epic battle, right? The White Rogue Sun versus the Night Sun.
These pages are epic. Like it's so cool going from like this book is so cool. It's so good because it's bouncing from like, oh, crazy situation in corporate HQ where people are dying. Oh, just like two family members talking in a house. Oh, two other family members talking much more violently in a different house. You know, it's just like it's so great. I mean, they're not technically family members. They are connected by a legacy. But like you get the point, they are fighting over family members because they're fighting over Aurie and Dylan. So it still can be surmised as a family drama in that sense in this moment. So I thought like, man, this is so cool. And like the artwork, see, it's very hard for me. I think they're doing, and we've commented on this before, something Massiverse does well. Bruno and Abel are like have similar art style. I don't know if it's Bruno's starting to slowly meld more just to make it look like that to keep the integrity of like the visual component of it. But it looks amazing, and these pages in the Sunstone are so good. It reminds me of like the vibe I get is like Anakin and Obi-Wan fighting on like Mustafar. Like that's the vibe I'm getting when these guys are like fighting. It's just like this is like fucking fighting in the middle of like chaos. Shit's going down. There's all kinds of badassery like behind them, and they're just talking. You know what I mean? It's just like
I think that's honestly the best part because to be honest, like me personally, after seeing the cover of the issue, I thought they were gonna be getting into some pretty crazy stuff in the Sunstone. Like we've seen kind of the different dimensions they can go and stuff like that. The pages looked amazing, but they did, it was a pretty tame environment. Like it was basically just kind of like an empty desert, which I think worked in this situation really because the dialogue was so important and so powerful in it, and it really, that's what mattered, and kind of the fight was kind of the secondary thing going on. But yeah, just hearing the differences and them talking about Dylan versus Aurie was super interesting to me, and we get to learn a little more. I think we learn a few more things, but there's definitely still a lot of questions about this new Sunstone and kind of all that stuff. But yeah, no, this was an epic battle to see them duel it out.
Yeah, I thought it was interesting that Marcus won pretty decisively too.
Or did he? Like we don't know. He made a deal.
Yeah,
like,
to kill.
We don't know.
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah. No, I thought the same, man.
Yeah,
I thought the same. Yeah, especially because we don't know what happened to him, but also we know that Caleb kind of has this secret on Marcus.
Yes.
That's kind of looming over that kind of is looming over the whole series since that flip issue and Marcus being super guilty and her line to the Raven Queen.
It's not just Marcus too. Like at the end of the issue, it was a big spoiler, but we are spoiling everything.
Yes.
Even what's her name? Like Gwen has a secret where she tells Dottie like you don't really know what Morningstar is, do you? Because she clearly like did some shit right at the end. Yeah. Took advantage.
That's true. I took that as like she's like she has no idea what she is, but like I don't know if we want to skip to the end as of yet, but yeah. But yeah, this No, yeah, this really was cool, and we see Marcus and Caleb with their masks off. And one thing I did want to shout out is we do learn Caleb said when he lost or the challenge for his successor, I guess, like he had this big tournament, and the winner of the tournament, like they fought to the death, and the winner got the Sunstone. I thought that was pretty cool, and I maybe hope we can see that in some flashback or some issue someday. And same with his mentor. We still don't know. We heard like Caleb's mentor told him not to have kids, and seemed to he seemed to go through some troubles too, obviously, to think those things. But yeah, I think that's a big question too. Caleb still has a lot of questions, but yeah, no, there's a lot of cool stuff revealed in this, like the most in a while. So I think this has a lot to push forward in the series.
I like
thought
the
it was
discussion they had
really-
about like the kids. Oh yeah, keep going though.
No, go ahead. Yeah.
Well, I just like the way that they framed Dylan, how like everyone's like, "Oh, you messed up by picking Dylan," and the way that Dylan says like, "But unlike you and I and Aurie, who were trained our entire lives to see monsters, that kid just sees people, broken and lost, just like him." Like that's a good like descriptor.
A
of
good
Dylan,
line.
right? Yeah, like
That's
when you're broken.
I thought
you can
that
see
was
the
like a
people.
commentary on like it's interesting because I've heard a lot of people talk about, especially like Scott Snyder when he was talking about like how he was coming up with the new Batman and how he'd be different than the other Batman. He said like his kids like see the world differently than they do, and it's
Yeah.
like it's not like so black and white. It's more nuanced, and he's like more hopeful for the future for that reason. And it kind of reminded me of that when I read that line, and I was like, maybe he's saying like, maybe we can ask him when we interview him, but like maybe he's almost saying like maybe that's his way of saying like the future generations are more.
Yeah,
I
have
think
more hope or inspiring. You know?
What I think it could be is because obviously Aurie seems like the better prospect to be the Rogue Son. Like she has more experience with this kind of stuff. She approaches these things better. But I was just trying to think, and the biggest difference I can see, or I'll say the biggest similarities I can see between Marcus, Caleb, and Aurie is all those three. They've all grown up around this stuff. Like they all grew up with their parent being Rogue Son. So
Yeah.
I think just being exposed to that stuff their entire lives kind of hugely will change their perspective on what they think's important, like in humanity and whatnot. And obviously Dylan's dad was Rogue Son as well, but he wasn't around. He left, so Dylan wasn't around this stuff.
I think to piggyback on that too, I wasn't there for last issue's discussion, but you could really see how black and white Aurie viewed Noxious. She was like, it doesn't matter what his motivations are. At the end of the day, he's killing people, right? And Dylan was kind of the one that was like, if that happened to me, I would do the exact same thing. So maybe that's
you know what's funny?
It's
like you say that while two Rogue Sons are fighting literally in black and white.
Right.
it's like literally like they're black and white. They're fighting and they're saying this kid is the future. He's
And they're a
not
bit
black
more
or
practical.
white. He's gray, right? Like that's what they're saying basically.
Yeah.
I thought that was really interesting. I also like, but even the visuals though, like the sun behind them, like as he like thrusts the sword into the rock. I thought he was gonna kill him honestly. Before
I thought he was gonna kill him too.
I was reading before I like scrolled down to that image. I was like, he's gonna like kill him. And then I was like, especially with the daughter triggers and everything. I was like, but yeah, there is interesting things. Like we learn a lot from that conversation in terms of like, we have like, what's the secret? Like now there's leverage because Caleb knows, even though he swears he's never gonna tell the kids, but who knows? But yeah, I was gonna say like the interesting thing here is one thing I find really fascinating is that Noxious is one of the few people, maybe other than Gwen, but Gwen clearly had her own agenda, and so does Noxious. But I think more so it's interesting for Noxious because I feel like he has no experience with this shit, whereas Gwen has her husband and she has now her kids, so she has some experience with this magic shit before she became powerful. Noxious is like fighting the voices in his head. Like he's genuinely like he's not a bad person. Like he's been wronged and he wants to right the wrong in his what he believes is the right way to do it. But he's not trying to kill people, like random people, which I really appreciate. I appreciate how we see a character that's more complex for once. Because he's like literally pushing back the voices.
Yeah, I'm gonna ask I'm just gonna ask Ryan if Luigi whatever inspired this guy because like
that's what I was thinking too. Yeah, that's
right.
That's very true.
Very different.
I feel like this was definitely written after that happened, right?
Yeah, probably.
They're usually like what 4 months ahead of the issue, so this was probably written in
Yeah, you're right.
March-ish.
Either way, it's like the Tesla situation where like
Right, right.
it's just like right on the money. It's like, oh shit. So like
Yeah.
wouldn't surprise me.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, no, this was great, and yeah, again, like seeing Ari kind of approach this is super cool. One thing I did notice, I think this is the first time like a Rogue Sun we actually see her facial expressions like as she's fighting through her mask, like through the fire. I
Ooh.
think the
Okay.
shape of her mask is just opened up a little bit, so
Mhm.
you can see through a little better. So I think that's just another
I love
cool
that. Yeah.
addition. Yeah, that's great. And yeah, this fight and their exchange is awesome. I think we talked about this before, but to me, this guy's almost just like a better. To me, he's a better written like Powerplex, just the way he goes about things and his motivations.
Yeah.
But yeah, I love this character, and I think the turn like made me like the character even better. To be
Yeah.
honest, but yeah, this was great. This was great.
Yeah, I like that. Like, I really like when he's like really going overboard with his powers, and he had the Powerplex moment where he's like, "Where were you when we needed help?" Blah blah blah. And he's smashing her. I like the background being pink. I thought it's so cool. The contrast between the colors really makes the page pop. It's such a good
Yeah.
like. It's brilliant, honestly. Like you wouldn't think someone would put pink in that situation, but it works so well. And then I love seeing her like kind of half like immersed in the water. I thought that was so cool. Like he's beat her ass basically like with one power surge. But I thought it was one thing I really loved is the compassionate speech, and I'll explain why. And it's a very superhero cheesy thing to do, but I still love it. Where it's like, first of all, the guy like saying I'm gonna live," like trying to escape, so funny. And he's walking slowly towards him like a horror movie. But when uh, Aurie's talking to him and giving him the speech, she mentioned specifically his kid and wife's name again, which shows that even though he mentioned it once at the beginning, that she was listening to him. And I think that makes her even more of a great hero because someone like Dylan would not have been able to do that. Even if he remembered that it was his wife and daughter, he would not remember the names, I don't think. Not that fast, not with one mention. And I think that's like the difference between like Aurie and Dylan really there in that page you see is that she's compassionate. She's always focused 100%. She's not impulsive. And in that moment, I think he pauses and hesitates because he sees that someone actually cares. He's like, this person remembers their names, even though I mentioned it once. She's really trying not to beat the shit out of me. She's trying to talk to me, and like, she's actually a good person. And I think him being a relatively I don't know if I want to say good person, but someone who's leaning more towards the good side. I think he appreciates that, and he's like, okay, maybe there's something more here.
He's not like I'm gonna turn him into a lizard. It's very specific. It's like you have the power to save a lot of people. I think this is one of the most relatable or almost not justified, but like one of the more understandable villains of the galaxy.
100%. Yeah.
And I really like what they did.
Yeah,
Yeah, it was
I
good.
love it. Yeah, he's like, I'm saving your breath. He said, I'm saving your lives, but it's just holding your breath for the moment. I'm still learning to control it. I thought that was so funny. I thought there were like little moments of levity in this issue that were
That was
like,
good.
this is what makes an
Even what
excellent
the finance bro says at the end is, I never mess with another man's boat, Smokey.
Exactly.
Yeah,
This is
damn,
a lot of
I was
good
actually
levity.
sad when he gets shot right as they
Yeah, I was so upset.
right
I
after he
know.
saves him.
I was
Yeah.
pissed, man.
Yeah, it
Yeah.
makes you feel for him right away, and yeah, that
Bro, this guy has like a full ass like fucking assault rifle.
That was
The
Yeah.
guy
weird.
is like,
That was weird. It's like
yeah,
Scooby Doo ass stuff. Like it was like rated R. It's just like, oh no, not so fast.
Yeah.
that
exactly.
it was kind of out of nowhere, but I do love we do get our revenge on the guy who shot him, or
But I think that page was a good commentary on these characters, though. I think like these characters, like he mentioned something earlier about how like once you strip away all the cash and power, like you really see them and they're just like pathetic. And I'm like, I think that's the commentary on like the finance bros. I think he's trying to say like these guys feel so impervious because they're rich and like they have their guns and shit, but like they're really like little bitch boys. And like I think this really shows it. Like this guy was a little bitch the whole issue up until he got his gun and shot the guy behind his back. He wasn't even looking at him. Then he felt like he was the guy again, like, oh, I'm the man. I just saved the day. So like I thought that was really funny. I thought it was actually really well handled. Like this kid is a dumbass. He reminds me of like one of the like Wolf of Wall Street characters, like one of the extras you'd see there, like those dumbass extras. You know what I mean? Like this is like a delusional
stuff. Yeah.
Yeah. And he even the way he's drawn is really well drawn. I wonder
Yeah.
who was like the influence for his, his character.
And for me, it's like
Yeah.
it's kind of like you don't pay attention. The beast is just so massive. There's so many heads. You take down a couple, or you think one's dismantled, and boom, there's another one to stab you in the back or shoot you. Right. So it's just like you can see in a few different ways. But I really like the motivation. I didn't expect to go where we went a few pages later either. This was a wild issue.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The expression was great when he got clubbed in the back of the head
Yeah, yeah.
by by Vanessa, right? The Morning Star is called, Vanessa is the Morning Star, the club. So yeah, he brings that back, and he has a funny line coming up. The one thing I did want to mention too, and I guess like Ryan never really puts any like thought bubbles or anything like in his stories, but the one thing I did find surprising, and it could have been kind of the heat of battle, but when Aurie was in this whole thing with Noxious and like seeing Vanessa, like she didn't have a thought, like she didn't have a reaction to like Vanessa actually being in the boat and her like
I
needing to
think
save
the
her
idea
mom.
is that like I think, look, this is what I'm gonna say. I think actually that was well handled. This is why.
Okay.
In the moment, she was like saying, she says something like he's making a joke, and she's like, I need to know how long this has been going on so I can rage appropriately or something, so I can have the appropriate amount of rage. She says that line. We'll get to it when we get there.
Yeah.
I think it's like shock. Like you just survived almost dying. And even if you're a very powerful individual who has some experience in these situations, I think you're still shocked. And then you see your daughter is the person saving your life, and they just talked down some asshole and they did it in such a good job.
Yeah.
I think she's shocked. I think you're going to see her like really yell at her soon, or we'll see like some punishment. But I think in the moment, I think it's adrenaline.
I think it's gonna
you know
go
what I
both
mean?
ways, though.
I think
because,
in
like,
the
because,
moment
like,
though,
put yourself
like
in the
that
situation,
change,
right? Yeah.
but yes, but that changes things. Like if I'm in like a place where I could like possibly die, but then I find out my mom's there, like shit's gonna change, you know, like I'm
Yeah.
gonna be like, oh fuck, my mom, it's not just me in danger
Yeah.
now, it's my family's actually in shit now. So I would have like just a quick facial expression through the
Yeah,
fire, like
like,
oh
"Whoa!"
shit, Julia.
I will say it was definitely weird
just
that
something.
they didn't interact, like not even like a look, right? Like
Yeah,
they
yeah,
just had them, like,
that's
kinda
all. That's
glance at
all
each
I
other.
needed. That's
Yeah.
all I needed. But I get they couldn't really spoil it and
The
stuff like
closest
that.
thing,
I
the
gotta
closest
see.
thing to an acknowledgement was when she said that drowning woman is innocent. She's someone's daughter, ... or
Yeah.
someone's mother.
Yeah.
That's like the closest thing they
Okay,
got to
okay,
acknowledging it.
that's something. That's okay.
And
Yeah, I
honestly,
forgot
she
about
didn't
that
get
one.
she didn't care about the other guy at all. Like if you look at
No,
all the
no,
panels,
no.
she's just trying to save her mom.
No.
She does not care
Yeah.
about the
No,
other
she doesn't
two
give a shit about
at
it.
all.
Yeah.
At
And
all.
rightfully so. I mean, he tried to shoot the guy. So.
Right.
I mean, he
right.
shot the guy. He did shoot the guy. So.
Yes.
Yeah.
yes.
Yeah, we're back in the Sunstone in the next page, and we see again what we talked about earlier, which is we learned about how he got the Sunstone, Marcus, and apparently his dad just literally handed to him when he was too old and said, "Here's your birthright, son. Don't let me kill you."
Yeah.
Which is like pretty brutal. So it's like no wonder like Marcus has daddy issues, and that's one of the legacies.
Yeah.
Of
That brings back to the beginning of the series, because I remember we always thought it was like is it Rogue's son with a U or an O?
Yeah.
Like this is kind of like a generational thing, like they pass down through the years. So yeah, that was kind of cool. But I also, we quickly glossed over the line two. The line two where Caleb reveals that even though Aurie may not win something, we don't know what they're talking about, but it's
Probably has
basically like
Morningstar.
a prophecy that they're going to lose Dylan, that Dylan's going to
Yeah.
die. So that was a line, and then that's when Marcus just kind of gives up and puts the sword down. And
the way
he knows.
I interpreted that as like the Star Wars thing, where it's like, you know how like Anakin is the chosen one, and like many others have tried, but like it's like Anakin has to be. That's like kind of how I interpret it. It's like he's just like no, like she's the one. Like if there's anyone who's gonna have a chance, it's her, because she has this and that, and like them, they say it's like the Force and the midichlorians and the blah blah blah. But here he's like, no, I feel her anger. I've been inside her blood. I can feel her rage. Like she has the right mix of like emotions, desire, and training. I think that's what he's trying to say. And then he's saying like, whereas like Dylan doesn't have any training, he's an impulsive asshole. He cares really just about himself. Like, how is he going to be the person that even has a chance? He's like, you can't have a chance as a hero with those qualities. And I'm like, curious. Like now, it's like what.
But it's
The
also
way
through all these
it-
generations, they've all had the same qualities, and that's kind of what's
Yeah,
led them
yeah,
to
yeah,
this
yeah, yeah,
situation.
yeah.
You know, so they want to
Exactly.
change it up. Like Dylan
Yeah, they want to give it
is
to
the
someone
rough and the
different.
grain.
Yeah,
Mhm.
because maybe he has like more of a like you guys said, like a different lived experience that could lead him to make different choices and be a different kind of hero. Maybe that's the kind of hero they need. I don't know. But what I'm curious is, I think they're trying to say something about like not just them, but in general on this issue about what Morning Star is. Because it's like maybe we're thinking it's like this behemoth with power, but maybe it's like more primordial or ethereal or something more that like, what if it's like literally, if it's the devil, and then we're thinking of it differently? Like, what if it's going to prey on certain emotions and certain things, like going to try to tempt you, right? Because that's something we've seen. It's tempted everyone with power so far,
When you
right?
look at like Adam and Eve too, like the poison apple and stuff like that, it almost more like
Exactly.
devil stuff there. Except we have poison above.
Exactly. Yeah. So it's
Yeah.
like maybe there's something deeper that we're not considering. I don't know. I'm curious, but I do love like the that page where we go back to the Ballast State, or maybe we're just on a roof somewhere. We're on a roof somewhere, and they're talking to Dylan, and she like she gives us literally the cold shoulder. Like, what's her name? What's the
For
I
Ari,
always forget.
Ari,
Ari,
No, not
Julia.
Ari, Julia. Yeah.
Julia.
So she
Oh
gives
yeah,
she gives the cold shoulder to Ari, and then Ari has that face, which I think is really
yeah, that's
funny.
funny.
And she's just like bummed out, and like she says, "Ori, you're amazing. You were brave. You were compassionate, and you saved my life. But you and I have a lot to talk about." And then like there,
Yeah.
and she says like, he's like, wow. He's like, Dylan says everybody just wants to punch me, and she says, just so I can be appropriately enraged. How long exactly have you two been lying about this? It's just like, and so I think that's funny. But that's when he's carrying the unconscious. It seems like they're gonna settle this later. That's what I mean. Like next issue, we're probably gonna see some sort of like punishment or at least training or something where like she's like, or we're gonna have to really do. We're gonna have to take it to the
That's
next
true.
level or whatever.
Is next issue the full flat? Is it a full flashback issue for this Rogue Sun or this Spawn?
I don't know.
I don't know.
I have no,
I
I
don't
have no
know.
idea. I think
I
so.
believe
So,
it's
based
I
on the
believe
scenes.
it's a medieval thing. I guess we don't know if the entire thing. There's probably going to be a couple pages, maybe.
Do we know if it's
with
Caleb? It could be Caleb by this
Present.
time.
It is Caleb. It is
I
Caleb.
bet it is
Based
Caleb.
on the solicit, it's Caleb.
I think it's
yeah,
Caleb and his
Didn't he say?
successor
Didn't he say
or his
here?
mentor.
Look. We'll read. I'll read you the
is
solicit. I
Caleb.
have it
Yeah,
open.
yeah, we
Yeah,
can
yeah.
do
It
that.
says this is the solicit. It says, "Enter Spawn. The year is 1383, and Sir John of York, the medieval Spawn, is searching for the terrifying creature known as the Withered. But a young knight and his squire are also on the hunt, and Caleb Hawthorne, the knight's son, won't give up his target without a fight. Don't miss this historic collision between two of Image's hottest heroes." So it sounds like they're gonna fight, and I'm curious, is like his squire gonna be his little sister that he talked about died, or maybe he's gonna take on a
Oh,
squire, and maybe so yeah, because it's like they've never mentioned the squire before that. Never. He's never mentioned that he's had a companion that he's gone on these adventures with. That was like
Yeah,
when you
he
say
didn't have
knight and
kids, he
squire,
didn't-
it's like
yeah,
sidekick. Yeah, so
yeah.
that's very interesting. Yeah, so very curious, and it's like one thing that's interesting is that in this issue, when he asks him how he got how he got rid of the rogue sun, he said that he held the tournament with like the strongest warriors from across the
Yeah,
lands
that
coming
was
together
so
to
cool.
like fight to earn it. It's like the Royal Rumble, the Royal Sunstone
Yeah.
Rumble.
Yeah,
Like,
we get a tournament
yeah.
arc. Let's go.
Exactly. So that would be pretty cool to do as like a like super massive or like a flashback mini or something. That would be a lot of fun to watch. Like fucking they could do like different image heroes that were like old school. You could have the immortal showing up to that to that, to that
Or a
thing.
Earl
Yo, what's
Red
that
or
thing
whatever.
DC's doing? Like knockout KO? What is it
Yeah,
called?
DCKO. Yeah,
DCKO.
Yeah.
yeah. That would be really fun if they did some stupid shit like that. I'm not gonna lie. They bring the red coat from Geiger, right? From the Geiger universe.
Yes.
Bring like Immortal from Invincible, bring like all these like really old ass like characters in the Invincible universe, have them duke it out, and then just give it to some nobody because obviously they can't give it to a hero. But yeah, that'd be really cool. And one can dream. But yeah, so I will say though, I think it's really funny that like Rogue Sun crossed over with Medieval Spawn before we even got a cover, just a cover of Invincible and Radiant Black together. And I do think it's so funny that Stray Dogs crossed over with Radiant Black on a cover before we got Radiant Black and Invincible. Like to me, that's kind of crazy, but like it's cool. I'm sure it'll happen one day. And Spawn, we already got Spawn. I mean, that one makes sense. We already got Spawn and many Massiverse characters on the cover together. So that one makes sense. But yeah, so and Savage Dragon. The list goes on. So we see them carrying the unconscious Noxious awake. I'm assuming to help him, but they just took him to jail. I feel bad. Like the guy saves them, gets shot, and then gets taken to jail.
Oh, by the way, I can't believe Radiant Black avoided the lawsuit having Snorlax in their comic, but DC got shut down for having that Deadpool Batman cover that didn't even look like a Pokeball, really. Anyways, whatever.
That's
Anyways,
crazy.
not to distract, but that was crazy.
Yeah,
Anyways,
that was
That is
crazy.
crazy.
That was crazy. That is crazy. It is, yeah. So yeah, we're back at Sin Corporation now, and we see that Juliet was, her convictions were true. She is here to shut down the shady shit that's happening, and she's brought her lawyer, and we get a return of the man, the myth, the legend himself, Mr. Abernathy.
Legend.
Yeah, I love how all you get is like literally just half a shot of his face, and that's it.
Looking Cecily with all the wrinkles.
Exactly. I love it. He looks so badass. Man looks weathered, man. I love it.
Yeah.
And then you go back to Aurie, and this is one of the coolest twists or reveals or developments. Development is probably the best word for this situation of this entire issue, I thought. So at the end of the issue, you see Marcus's form appear in front of Aurie, and she starts freaking out, and she's like, "Oh my god, it's you!" And he says, "Yeah, basically, Caleb sacrificed the last of his energy to connect the two sunstones so that I could be your mentor." And
That's
now
some
Dylan,
BS.
yeah. So we can see all of them together, one big happy family. They're now doing the Martian Manhunter like mind sharing bullshit. So
Yeah.
so I'm very curious to see how that goes. But for the next page, I have in front of me the page. I want to show it off because it's such an incredible page that we have to talk about. We love these pages up in this show. So yeah, another
Yeah,
group
yeah.
therapy page. And
Yeah.
here we are at the Crystal Menagerie. We've got Coleman Hines, aka Noxious, introducing himself to the rest of the cast. I'm not sure if we know everyone that's there. I recognize Gwen and Hellbent. And
There's definitely one new person. Or
yeah,
cat.
the cat. Yeah, dude, the cat has like been the subject of many. I can't wait to see what the fuck this cat is because I got so excited and someone in the Discord was like, "Oh, maybe he's like Dexter, like from the Red Lanterns," and I'm like, man, that would be that would be amazing. That's like the last thing. I swear to God, I was saying this. I'm like, the last thing we're missing is like silly animal shit, and like Power Rangers has that, right? Power Rangers literally has animal rangers in it.
Maybe they're
So
like
I'm
a
like,
witch's cat or something. That's my guess.
No, dude, I
Yeah,
want
they-
this cat to be like
We
a
had some
fucking
cat stuff
murderer,
in Radiant
bro.
Pink
It's
too.
a cat.
Not
Yeah,
Radiant
dude,
Black, but
it's
yeah,
a cat in
Radiant
its
Pink.
own chair, bro. There's no owner with this cat. This cat is a
This cat is the owner.
yeah. This guy's the owner, exactly. So I want to see what this cat is, and does it grow, or is it just like a really fierce, mean little fuck? I don't know. I'm very curious. But is that Billy, like in the shirt next to them, Billy Blood Moon, or is that just some random guy? We don't know.
I think that's
Oh, it
I
might
think
be.
that's Billy, or it's one of the Blood Moons. But
So
yeah.
this is Billy. This is Noxious. This is Hellbent. That's Gwen.
Yes.
So do we know who this is? No, right?
I don't think
It's
so.
hard
I
to
forget
tell if
that-
it's I
Yeah.
think it
I don't
could have
think
been
it's
one of the
Demonica,
other
no.
ladies. I don't know.
The
It's not
two-
Demonica. It's not Demonica.
Yeah,
but
I forget her name too.
I mean, I don't think so. If it's Demonica, she's been eating
No,
real
that's
good
not.
in jail.
That's not. She hasn't. Yeah.
Yeah. And then the cat. So I'm like, I'm
Yeah.
really curious to see what this cat is gonna do.
These
And it's
last two pages, man. Yeah, they
So
took
good,
this
yeah.
issue over the top for me. Like,
Yeah,
it was a perfect
100%.
issue, and it was a perfect ending. Literally, just like capped it off. But yeah, this was.
I love the lack of border here transition. So no panel border. You just transition from him here to like him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I thought that was a really cool way to show. Yeah, and the doors and everything. This was really cool. Like probably the coolest therapy session you've ever seen. Like, let's be honest. But I will say one thing that's really exciting is that on the next page, we see that when she asks Coleman how he's feeling and like whether he wants to share, he opens his mouth. Actually, he wants to say, and he says, and he coughs and he says, "I don't want to hurt." And then he vomits out a green-looking spider, bat, butterfly thing. It's like a mix of all the above. Yeah,
That's the
and it
gift
just-
he got last issue, right?
yeah. And it just
Yeah.
like clearly it's manipulated by Gwen. It's unclear if it's like sent as like a portal to Gwen to manipulate or whether Gwen is taking advantage of the moment. I'm gonna assume the former.
I think Morningstar,
Yeah.
Morningstar would have had to plan this.
I think
right?
neither,
Yes.
honestly.
You
Yeah,
think Gwen is
Morningstar-
just like
I
Because
think she's
Morningstar
there. And
planted
she's
the
along for
bug.
the ride.
Yeah,
you think Gwen?
Morningstar
So you
planted
think
the
Gwen
bug.
planned this?
No,
I
no.
think no,
Oh,
I
yeah,
don't.
okay.
I
Okay.
think Gwen for sure is kind of going against Morningstar in a way
Yeah,
where
she's
I
like
think
inside agent, whatever.
she's been trying to save Dylan this whole time. I even think like she's known about this since the beginning of the series. That I think that's maybe why she wanted to kill Marcus, because she knew he was going to eventually get Dylan killed. Maybe so. Yeah, I don't know. And they did have that conversation. I think at the end of one issue, they did meet and had a conversation, and we never saw that. So I don't know if we're still gonna be flashing back to that. But yeah, I think she's gonna be kind of swinging over more to the good side. And she just wants to save Dylan at this point, which is gonna be
I
cool.
agree. I agree
We
with
could
it.
see that, or we could see maybe Dylan ends up siding with her because something happens with Marcus, and maybe Marcus and
Oh yeah, sibling
Finds out
rivalry.
about
Aurie
that deal.
team up.
Yeah, like Marcus Aurie versus Dylan. And
Yeah, you never know.
I mean, we already see that Dylan has a secret like side quest to save his mom, right? Like we've
Yes,
already
yeah.
seen.
Yeah,
That's something
That's a
that
good
he
point.
wants. So maybe, man, maybe like that's what
Seems
Morningstar is gonna use.
Every character has a secret side quest.
Wait,
and
I
they're
wanted to
all-
ask you guys the very last page. So they all get zapped, right? The thing,
It's
the bug
6
comes
people.
out of his mouth,
Yeah,
and they all get zapped, but Noxious and Dottie, like zapped away,
Yeah.
teleported, whatever.
yeah,
But who's talking?
I think it's Gwen.
yeah, yeah.
think so?
Yeah, it's Gwen.
Yeah,
It's Gwen. 100%.
yeah.
It's Gwen.
I
That's why. Yeah, it is Gwen. It's Gwen. 100%.
I think so. That's the only thing that came into my. That's why, like she says, because it's the only way Dylan is going to survive. Right? Gwen's the only
Yeah.
one who would.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay,
yeah,
that makes sense.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
would
It's
think so.
it's Gwen. Yeah. So great issue.
Fantastic.
Incredible issue. What a way to end
Yeah.
out the arc. So many twists, very satisfying. So much amazing pacing in this issue. A lot happened. Again, we talked about the genre balancing, like we're balancing between so many different things. We're in Sunstone fighting. We've got family drama here. We've got murder there and corporate shenanigans. It was very well handled. Good moments of levity spread throughout. Excellent issue. I gave it a rave review on League, and I even posted the link to the first issue on the Image website so that people can check it out because it's such a good book. Yeah, so we're taking a break for 2 months. Rogue Sun will return in October. They said that after each arc now they're going to do a 1 month break just to keep things going. I'm perfectly fine with that if it means releasing issues on time and means that they're all doing well and feeling better in terms of like not overwhelmed with the work. So mid-October is when we'll get the next issue of Rogue Sun. It's going to be a huge issue because we're going to get medieval Spawn in that issue. Like the guy said earlier, it's going to be a flashback issue in the the late 12th century or something like that. So very exciting stuff. And last but not least, I think that's pretty much it. Oh yeah, we will be having Ryan Parrott on tomorrow our time. We're going to be recording an interview with him. We're going to be talking about Rogue Sun, Infernals, Vicarious. If you have any questions that you'd like us to ask, post them in the Discord or any of the reviews, like post them in the comments and we'll ask the questions on your behalf. We're very excited to chat with Ryan because it's been such a great arc and we haven't spoken to him at all since it's been a
two
it's been a
arcs.
minute.
It's been a while.
Yeah.
Been 2 arcs, I think. So yeah, almost a year at this point.
Yeah. So we're really
crazy.
curious. Yeah. Yeah, very excited. I think that's pretty much it. So we'll see everyone at the next episode. Anything else anyone wants to add before we head out here?
Can you guys believe it's been 30 issues of Rogue Sun?
No, I saw it.
Crazy, right?
It's amazing. It's
It's
amazing.
crazy.
Crazy.
Flown by.
Yeah.
They've all been
yeah.
great. I'm gonna do a reread soon before the
Amazing.
interview.
Yeah. And happy 100 episodes to us too.
Yeah, I
Yes.
did it on the Radiant Black podcast.
100.
I didn't even
That's
count
a
these
lot.
episodes, by the way.
Yeah,
So we didn't
I
count the
totally
Rogue
didn't
Suns.
even see
Yeah.
that, but yeah, no,
Yeah,
that was
we did
just
100
cool to see that,
episodes,
100
so-
number.
Yeah, very cool. Very happy with that. Hopefully 100 more, 500 more. Who knows? It's very rare. Like if you look up the statistic, like it's very rare for podcasts to break 100 episodes. It's like something of like 2 or 3% of podcasts like hit 100 episodes or more. So very happy with that milestone. We had no idea when we were recording it was the 100 episode. Otherwise, obviously, we would have done more. But I found out when Podbean emailed me, "Congratulations on your 100th episode." I knew it was coming up because I mentioned it in the previous episodes. I was like, "We're coming up on the 100th episode," but I stopped keeping track and we stopped numbering them. So
Yeah.
yeah. So Rogue Sun on a break, and then I think we have. Let me just check Radiant Black just to confirm with everyone.
I think they're on a break too.
I think so. Yeah, I just want to confirm. Let's see. So the last issue came out last week, and the next issue is coming out September 10th. No, so Radiant Black is still coming out next month, and that's where we get Marcelo back on interior artwork. So very excited for that, And
Let us know in the
yeah.
comments too. Like, what do you guys think? Like, what's happening? There's so much to speculate about. Whether it's like, what's the promise? What's the deal with Morningstar between Marcus and Morningstar? Where are we going next with these demons? Yeah. Like, is everyone? What's the next issue? Is it going to be everyone
What's
attacking?
the deal Marcus made? What's this deal Marcus made with
Yeah.
Morningstar? That's I think that's the huge question.
Yeah, and tweeted us or in the Discord or below on YouTube. Let us know what do you want us to ask Ryan next time, and we'll do our best to ask it.
Yeah. All right, everyone. Thanks for joining us today. As always, we'll see you next time, everyone. Go Rogue.